going on, vinyl community? Welcome to another video with the Record Spinner. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a vinyl haul showcasing all of the records that I acquired within the month of August this year in 2020. But before we get into the vinyl haul, I want to give some shout outs to a couple of friends of mine. We dub ourselves as the youngest people of the VC alongside Jenna over at Spins and Needles. Those are Emma at 8 Vinyl Low, Mike at My Guitar Player 07, and Marichen Lehman. They are the proud owners of some of my merchandise that I announced recently, and they were so generous and nice to give me shout outs and sport the merch on videos on their respective channels. We all have become quite close with each other these past several months, and they are literally the coolest people I know in the VC, and I am so thankful to call them very good friends of mine, and I will leave links to their channels in the description box below so you can check them out. Also, Mike and I managed to meet in person for the first time recently. He was in my neck of the woods in South Jersey, as he is in North Jersey, and we grabbed a bite to eat, had some beers, and he also gave me a very nice hefty VCLT comprising of country and folk albums. I trust Mike's musical opinions and suggestions when it comes to those genres, and he hooked me up with the soundtrack to Coal Miner's Daughter, Simon and Garfunkel Greatest Hits, got some Charlie Pride, Best of Judy Collins, Joan Baez, a compilation of 18 country hits, Olivia Newton-John, Eddie Arnold, and Del Reeves, and he even threw in a copy of Guitar Player magazine, which has Jack White on the cover, which is pretty cool. And then he typed up this college-level type of thesis, which breaks down each album that he gave me, which is really awesome, and he even threw in some inside jokes to add some flair. So thank you very much, Mike. I will be getting around to listening to these albums, and I will certainly let you know what I think of them. And then Marichen also sent me this very awesome Third Man Records postcard, and on the back she writes, "From my most recent adventure in Nashville, enjoy," and she even threw in a guitar pick as well. And if you know me and you've been following my channel long enough, I worship the helm of Jack White and Third Man Records, so this is really awesome to get. So thank you very much, Marichen. Now the shout outs are out of the way. Now let's get into the haul. This was a rather intense month of record buying and getting my hands on some awesome additions to the ever-growing vinyl collection. We have lots of new releases, indie exclusives, yes, solo albums, a couple of bootlegs, some live Stooges, a rare Stones record, and a box set from a Dollar General. What could I be talking about? You'll have to watch to find out. It's about to go deep, so enough of the chit-chat. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the latest finds.
All right, so we are going to be kicking this haul off on a rather yes-like note with two solo albums by, I guess you could say, the two most antagonizing members of Yes. I guess it all depends on which side you hear and what one member says about the other. Honestly, 50 plus years later, these guys can't just get it together. It's ridiculous, but I digress. These are actually new releases that just came out this past Friday on July 31st, and I'm now just receiving them in the early part of August, and those are new albums by John Anderson and Steve Howe. So we'll talk about the John Anderson album first. This is called 1000 Hands Chapter 1. This actually first got released last year in 2019. I believe it was only available on John Anderson's website, and upon its release, I recalled it being quite expensive to get. This thing was not cheap by any means upon its first release. So then a label called Blue Land Records gave it a widespread release, and now it is available for the mass public. And at the time when this album first came out, I actually saw John Anderson live, and he did a lot of material off of this record, which I thoroughly enjoyed. So I kind of made it a point to check out the album at some point, and with it getting a widespread release now, it was the right time. And I think the whole idea of the 1000 Hands title plays into the cast of characters that appear on this record. That right there is who has appeared. We have all kinds of people that appear on this. And in some areas, it seems like it's like a long-lost Yes album, because we do have contributions from Steve Howe, the late Chris Squire, and Alan White. But we also have some contributions from Steve Morse, Billy Cobham, Carmine Appice, Jonathan Cain, Robbie Steinhardt, all kinds of people. So it's pretty cool that they all kind of came together and contributed to John's album. Comes in a nice gatefold sleeve. And record comes on black vinyl. Nice custom labels there. And it's a 3-sided album, so of course they did something quite unique with the 4th side, which I will show you. And we also have an insert here, which has all of the lyrics. Very cool. And I will show you what they did with the 4th side. So they did a rather unique etching right here. So right in the middle, we have John's Elias of Sun Hello symbol, which he has used basically ever since the mid-70s when he put out that album. And it kind of has this spiral effect going out across the record, which I've never seen a colored etching on a record before, so this is a bit of a first for me. It looks really, really awesome, and I'm definitely excited to play this album too. It's been a while since I had last listened to the tracks off of this that he did live, so this will be a fun listen indeed. And then we get to Steve Howe, and this is his newest album, Love Is. Steve Howe is just one of the greatest guitarists of all time, especially when it comes down to his acoustic guitar playing. I can listen to that forever. It is just beautiful. With this album, he kind of keeps it in the family, sort of. Steve does a lot of the guitar work as well as some vocals. John Davison plays bass and provides some harmony vocals, and John Davison is the current vocalist for Yes right now. And then on drums, we have Steve's son, Dylan. Shares my same name as well, which is pretty cool. And very cool artwork here. Nice back cover. Gatefold sleeve. There's a picture of the man himself. And we have some lyrics. And this part is cool. This is cool for the guitar geeks, basically. I say that very nicely. This is a little chart which breaks down which guitars Steve used on certain songs on the album. All the songs, I should say. So it kind of marks them off right there, which is really cool for anyone that really wants to know. And this one comes on black vinyl as well. And we have a nice split custom label there as well, which is quite cool. So yeah, definitely a cool Yes proggy way to kick off this haul with some new Yes solo albums. Yes, the beard is gone. So this next record I'm going to show you guys is one that I picked up over at Sky Valley Records in Summerdale. That's one of the record stores I went to during my record store road trip around New Jersey. Did a whole video about it. If you want to check it out, please go ahead and do so. My best friend and I, we were out and about just kind of shopping at various stores and just, you know, picking up all kinds of stuff. And I wanted to hit up a record store, so I figured we will swing by Sky Valley because, like I said during the road trip video, they have the best selection in terms of just regular streamlined stuff, rare live releases and bootlegs and whatnot. Fantastic stuff. So I picked up this record. This is Aerosmith, A Brand New Song and Dance. This is a legal bootleg of a radio broadcast from the Done With Mirrors tour from a show in Worcester, Massachusetts, which was basically the Boston-based show, which is home turf for the band. This was recorded by Westwood One for their in-concert series. And right off the bat, but when I looked at the track list, I knew it was from the Done With Mirrors tour because we have things like My Fist, Your Face, Sheila, She's on Fire, The Hop, and it opens up with Back in the Saddle, Same Old Song and Dance. There's a rare live rendition of the song No Surprise from Night in the Ruts, which is one of my favorites. Let the Music Do the Talking, of course, Toys in the Attic, you know, all that good stuff. Comes with a nice gatefold sleeve. Now, it was marketed as being limited edition colored vinyl, but it said that the colors may vary. But upon opening, the first LP came on standard black. Black is still a color, so it still is colored vinyl. Not to be witty about it. And the second LP comes on white vinyl. So It did surely say on the sticker, colors may vary, but nonetheless, I mean, this release was $23.99, which is not a bad price when it comes to legal bootlegs, because it's very hard to come across these like online. You usually have to get them from like overseas sellers and whatnot, and then when you buy them from American sellers, they're usually kind of pricey. So I thought just the price alone made this worth snagging, so I was very glad to commemorate the day by picking this up. And then upon coming home, I got a package from Bull Moose, and this is of a new release that's coming out tomorrow on August 7th, and that is the newest album from Deep Purple. This is their new album called Whoosh. This right here is the indie record store variant, limited to 500 copies. Managed to get myself a copy of it, and I cannot wait to give this album a spin. Right off the bat, I love this album cover. Just kind of has like a cool kind of old school 70s look to it, which is pretty cool. Nice kind of spot varnish finish to the logo there. Opens up with a nice gatefold sleeve. There's the band members there. And we have printed inner sleeves, which house the records. Here's the front, back, and here is the vinyl itself. And this comes on clear vinyl. And right off the bat, this is the clearest vinyl that I've ever seen. That is truly, truly translucent. Very, very nice. And I'll show you guys the second LP as well. And here is the second one. Very nice custom labels as well. Very, very nice. Cannot wait to dig into this record. Deep Purple has been consistent recently. They did the Now What album back in 2013, and then I believe a couple years back they did Infinite, and then they delivered this. And I think they were on a string of farewell like tours recently, but regardless of that, it's cool to see them still doing new music, and I definitely cannot wait to give this album a spin. Deep Purple, Whoosh. All right, so here are some Discover cashback bonus purchases from Amazon, starting off with Nirvana's Live and Loud. I've kind of been on a small Nirvana kick lately, and I figured I would get this album as it is a gap filler for my Nirvana vinyl collection. This particular release consists of the unedited show that the band did at Pier 48 in Seattle back in 1993, which was broadcasted on MTV. And then 20 years later, they released the show on DVD in its entirety for its 20th anniversary. And then just last year in 2019, they did a vinyl version of the show, which is quite cool. It's a rather fantastic show with a very awesome set list here, as you can see. And it's also nice that we get a vinyl release of a show from the In Utero album cycle, which was their last album. Gatefold sleeve here has some photos from the show. And if anything, these are actually snapshots from the DVD, which is pretty cool. Then we have an insert here with more band photos. Right there. And I'll show you guys the vinyl. Comes in nice polyline sleeves. Custom labels there, which is quite cool. It said on the hype sticker that it came with a replica VIP backstage pass, which from what I understand also doubled as a download card, I believe. Unfortunately, my copy did not come with the backstage pass, but in all honesty, it's about the music, and also considering that I got it from Amazon, chances are I got the auto rip thing, which gives you an MP3 download of whichever CD or record you buy off of Amazon. So fingers crossed I have that, because it would be nice to have a digital copy of this. But nonetheless, cannot wait to give this a spin on the turntable. And like I said, I've kind of been on a Nirvana kick lately, just digging my way through their catalog. And very excited to get this added into my vinyl collection. And next up is a compilation that I don't know why I did not get this any sooner. I'm aware of this collection. I know it's a must-own. I just never got around to getting my hands on the copy that I was seeking out, and I just finally got it. And when you see it, you're going to think to yourself, why did you wait so long? Rolling Stones, Hot Rocks, 1964 to 1967. One of the greatest compilation albums of all time. It is flawless. If you want a primer of the early Rolling Stones catalog, this is the collection to go to. Because what do you have on here? You have Play With Fire, Satisfaction, Get Off My Cloud, Paint It Black, Ruby Tuesday, Jumpin' Jack Flash, Street Fighting Man, Honky Tonk Women, Gimme Shelter, Brown Sugar, Wild Horses, and a bunch of others. It's solid from start to finish. It's such an absolutely fantastic collection. Comes with a pretty cool back cover photo of the guys there. Opens up, we have a photo collage. And this particular pressing that I got my hands on is really cool because, like most other Rolling Stones albums that got reissued from this time frame, it comes on clear vinyl, which is pretty cool. Some of the clearest looking vinyl that I've ever seen. And as you can see there, it comes with a nice custom center label, which features the photo from the back cover. And the second LP pretty much looks exactly like this, so I'm not going to take out the second one, but you basically get the idea. Very nice, solid pressing, and definitely cannot wait to play this as well. And then we get to the next thing I'm going to show you in this clip, and you are probably going to laugh when you see what I got my hands on. So, and the way I'm going to start this is going to be rather interesting. My girlfriend and I, we went to a Dollar General to go shopping, and I left with records. What exactly did I buy? Get ready to laugh. I did it. Garth Brooks' Legacy. Now, I am very much a novice when it comes to Garth Brooks and the world of country, for that matter. With time, I have slowly started to appreciate country music a bit. Not so much the brand new stuff that's coming out that gets marginalized, but a lot of, the greats like, Dolly Parton, Johnny Cash, and, Loretta Lynn, like classics like that, along with some of the other like kind of country-esque artists that come out on Jack White's Third Man Records label. And I just always thought that when this first came out, this was like around last Christmas in 2019, it was absolute bang for the buck because you get 7 LPs and 7 CDs for $50 on average, which right off the bat, that is not bad at all. When it comes to what we know, new vinyl pressings to be priced at, $50 for all that you get here is absolutely wonderful. And I kind of figured that maybe one day I would approach this collection, but I did not want to pay $50 for it, considering that it's basically all new territory. So my girlfriend and I were at Dollar General, and we're heading towards the registers, and I see this right here. And I'm thinking to myself, that's kind of interesting. I'm going to play the role of the customer and ask how much it is. Even though it had a price sticker of $45, you never know. Things might get updated or whatever. It's a good thing I asked because the cashier told me that it was $29. Still not bad. Not a bad price. Almost was willing to snag it at that price. And I guess the cashier saw how enthused I was, and she had a $5 coupon, which brought it down to $24. So for $24 for all this, you really can't go wrong. And real quick, I'll show you everything that's featured in this set. So we have the albums No Fences, The Chase, In Pieces, and then we have Fresh Horses. And then also, the way that this whole collection is set up, in every collection, there's like a different live album, or in every 6 collections, there's a different live album, something of the sorts. And for my copy, I got the Whiteout triple live album. Opens up 3 times. There's a triple gatefold sleeve here, which is pretty cool. And then you get all the CDs as well featured here, which is pretty cool. Now, there are 3 different versions of this box set that exist. There is a all analog version, which has a solid black spine right here. There is a remixed and remastered version, which is the one that I got. And then there is a limited edition version, which has like a holographic spine to it. Honestly, for me, if I had my choice, I maybe would have gone down the analog route to get the solid black version. But in all honesty, when it comes to something like this, anything would really do. But nonetheless, now I'm going to be working my way through the Garth Brooks catalog, and it'll be rather interesting, but nonetheless excited to dig into it. And you might want to check out your Dollar General because you might leave with some records. All right, so here is a brand new reissue that just came out fairly recently, and that is The Doors 13. Now, this is the first ever Doors compilation. It is indeed the first of many that would soon follow, and this is quite significant simply because it is the only Doors compilation that came out while Jim Morrison was alive. And this was released before LA Woman, so it only features tracks ranging from the first album all the way up until Morrison Hotel. So we have things on here, of course, like Light My Fire, People Are Strange, Moonlight Drive, but then we have some other interesting songs on here like Your Lost Little Girl, Land Ho, and Wild Child. Aside from not featuring any material off of LA Woman, I would say this is a rather decent compilation. And of course, it's been 50 years since this came out, so Rhino Records decided to do a 50th anniversary pressing of it. They replicate the artwork fairly nicely. And we also have a replication of the inner sleeve. Now, this I had never seen before. And if you know your Doors history quite well, you will notice that the photos that make up the inner sleeve are taken from the Dinner Key Auditorium show in March of 1969. That was when Jim supposedly exposed himself. So it's pretty crazy that they used those photos there. Wait till you see the color of the vinyl. Now, this pressing is only available on the Doors official website, and I believe as of filming this clip, it is now sold out. But there is going to be a standard black pressing made available, I think sometime next month in September. Wait till you guys see this. This is crazy looking. Check it out. That is blue and white ink spot colored vinyl. That is just absolutely sharp looking. I do not have any other records in my collection that look quite like this. Actually, I'm wrong. I think my pressing of The Who's latest album looks kind of similar to this, but it is still very unique. That is just gorgeous. Replicates that butterfly Electra label nicely. It was pressed at Optimal in Germany, and it was mastered by Bernie Grundman. And I believe it said on the website that the audio was remastered by Bruce Botnick. So all that together means that this is going to be quite a fun listen and a nice sounding pressing. And pretty cool to see the Doors' first ever compilation to get a proper reissue. It's the one that basically got all future compilations coming down the road in the future. The Doors 13. All right, so I once again took another trip over to Sky Valley Records. I'm telling you, this place is slowly becoming my new go-to store. My best friend and I were hanging out once again for the day, and I decided to commemorate the day with the purchase of a vinyl record, and that is the Rolling Stones, the Marquee Club, live in 1971. Now, this is one of the many live shows that the Stones camp has been putting out in recent years. I think it's awesome that they're putting out all these shows and giving them to fans, which is fantastic, but they're just so hard to keep track of. They just keep putting them out. But this is one that I have been intrigued with since it came out back around 2015, simply because this is my favorite era of the Stones. 1971, Sticky Fingers, Going into Exile on Main Street. It's all fantastic stuff. And this is also my first Rolling Stones from the Vault release that I'm able to get. And I guess now I need to start snagging them. It's going to be tough because this is actually out of print. They're no longer pressing this up. And I got a good deal on this too. I noticed that there was a yellow dot sticker on the price tag when I checked it out. And I asked the owner what was up with that. And he just said that it was an indicator that they had this listed on either eBay or Discogs, since they do operate online. But he said that he would cut me a deal, and I got it for around $25, which is really not bad. Here's the front, and here is the back. And what is awesome with this particular release is that it is a vinyl and DVD release. So we have the show on vinyl, and then it's also on the DVD here, along with some performances from Top of the Pops and whatnot. And it's a pretty cool show, too. This was from the Stones' first UK tour since 1966, which is pretty significant. And we also have a printed inner sleeve here. Here we have Keith on that side and Mick Jagger here. And here is the vinyl itself with a nice sort of pinkish custom label, which looks pretty cool. And I'm going to have to see which other shows from this series are still available and in print, because I'd like to check out some of the other ones. I know as of filming this clip, they recently announced the Steel Wheels Atlantic City show, and that I might check out simply because it's from Atlantic City, and that's literally just an hour away from me, from where I am in South Jersey. Nonetheless, cannot wait to give this a spin. The Rolling Stones, The Marquee Club, live in 1971. All right, so here is something that I picked up with my Amazon 5% cashback bonus program. Honestly, it is worth signing up with a credit card that is going to reward you every time you use it. I got my hands on CJ Ramone's The Holy Spell, and I have been meaning to get into CJ Ramone's solo stuff for a long time because I am a huge fan of the years that CJ was a part of the Ramones, from 1990 to 1996. The 2 studio albums, Mondo Bizarro and Adios Amigos, are fantastic, and I love his vocal style and the songs that he also wrote for them. He kind of provided this sense of new life within the band, and his vocal style kind of comes across as sort of like a bratty, kind of pop-punkish style, and to be honest, when I heard the samples of this album, they sound like they could have been Ramone songs. And so what is there to hate? So I'm really happy that I got my hands on his, as of now, latest solo album. And he has a couple others that I have yet to check out, but I'm definitely am going to at some point. Comes with a nice insert with all the lyrics. And the vinyl itself, it comes in a paper sleeve, so I'm not going to take it out entirely. But as you can see here, we have some very nice custom center labels. And this is definitely going to be a very rockin' spin, and I definitely cannot wait to give it a listen. CJ Ramone, The Holy Spell. All right, so here is a brand new release that just came out fairly recently in the beginning of August. I ordered this off of Bull Moose, and I was very lucky to place a order on it before it was listed as being only available in store, because I guess they were only to fulfill X amount of online orders for this particular release. But they didn't get it in time to ship it out days before the release date, which is normally what they tend to do with pre-orders. But once they got it in, they shipped it via media mail, which meant that the Pony Express basically delivered it because it took a long time to get from Maine down to Jersey. But nonetheless, it's here. And that is The Stooges, live at Goose Lake, August 8th, 1970. This is a live recording of the band's performance at the Goose Lake Festival, which was basically, in a sense, a Detroit Woodstock. And this show is significant for 2 reasons. Number one, this was days before the release of Funhouse, and Funhouse is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. And this is the last ever show of the classic lineup that did the first 2 Stooges albums. So this show is quite significant. And this right here is the indie record store variant that was made available. The standard version comes with like an all black cover with like the photo in purple with the text and everything. But as you can see here, it's in white, and this is a screen printed sleeve, which is pretty cool. It kind of has the look and feel of like an old school kind of bootleg, which I really do like. And I also should note that this pressing is limited to 1,000 copies. And it comes pressed on marbled white vinyl, which is really cool. And then we also have an insert as well, which talks about the festival. And the story goes is that recently a soundboard recording of the show was discovered. And what better label to put this out than Third Man Records? So right off the bat, it has that Third Man connection. So I'm automatically intrigued. And also I want to build up my my Stooges vinyl collection, and I need to get more of their records too. So it's really cool to have this rather significant live show. Very excited to give it a spin. And then this next record I picked up at my local record store, The Rock Shop. I went there with my girlfriend just today, and just to kind of just see if anything new came in, because it had been some time since I last was there, and I noticed that there were a lot more legal bootlegs there. So I was very excited to see what they had, and I was gravitated towards this release. Now, this is Green Day, New Jersey, live 1992. This is a radio broadcast of a performance that Green Day did for this radio station, actually in New Jersey. To no audience, they were just ripping through a bunch of songs that appeared on their first 2 albums, so this is pre-Dookie era. And there were 2 variants available at the store of this particular recording, and I gravitated towards this one because there was a hype sticker that indicated that it was on colored vinyl. And granted, I kind of wish it was on green vinyl. It just makes sense with the name. But what's crazy was they were the two copies, this one and the other version, were priced exactly the same. So I went for the slightly cooler version. But nonetheless, this is an absolutely killer set. The band is just ripping through all their early classics. We have things on here like, what's on this? We have an early version of Welcome to Paradise, 2,000 Light Years Away, At the Library, 80, Who Wrote Holden Caulfield, Paper Lanterns, Words I May Have Ate. This is just an absolutely fantastic live release. And also, Kerplunk is my favorite Green Day album, so this comes right from that period. So right off the bat, this was kind of like a must-have for me. Really an awesome live release to have. Green Day, New Jersey, live, 1992.
So there you guys go. That is my vinyl haul of all the records that I acquired within the month of August this year in 2020. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support this channel, be sure to check me out on Patreon. See you guys in the next video. And most importantly, keep the records spinning.